Hey everybody, so this is going to be a really long video with a couple glitches in it. Some of the portions are out of sync, like the audio and my lips aren't quite synced up together. Don't know why that is, but hopefully soon I'll have an HD camera to eliminate that issue so I'm not filming on my iPod. But this is going to be an everyday foundation routine with a fall tutorial mixed in, so it is going to be quite lengthy. This is the look. So it's just a nice dark lip, nice wine colored lip. Then we have a light colored, sort of like a light colored neutral eyeshadows with a very bold, liner. And if you notice, no bronzer or anything like that because we are transitioning to winter and it's not very wintry. So if you guys want to learn how to do this look and see how I do my everyday foundation routine, just keep watching. And again, I'm sorry about the little oopsie with things not syncing up properly. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hey everybody, so I have not done anything to my face today. I just got out of the shower, so I don't know if you can see, but I've got some leftover makeup and obviously no foundation on. So I'm actually going to show you how I cleanse my face in the morning, and especially with this look, there's sort of an altered procedure to it because of the eyeshadows that we're using. So the first thing that I do, I'm going to sneeze and I just started this video. The first thing that I do is I use these Balea 3-in-1 cleansing cloths. So there they are. They just come in this little tub. Sorry, I have the sniffles today. And they're for all skin types, but I find I have really sensitive skin, and they're the only thing that doesn't feel abrasive. So what I do with this is I concentrate mostly on my eyes because I always have a lot of mascara and eyeliner left over. So just go like that, try and get it all off there. You want to try and be as gentle as you can, because obviously if you pull at your skin, you're going to get wrinkles, yada yada. And most people will say, oh, don't use wipes, but I'm too lazy to do anything else. So I just want to make sure I've got everything there. Sorry, I'm actually like using this as because I film on my iPod, and I'm actually using it as my mirror. So we'll see how that goes. I may end up grabbing another mirror later. So just give your face a nice big old wipe. Pardon my hair, obviously I just got out of the shower, so I conditioned it and then just left it. Alright. So once you have that done, don't forget your neck. I always get behind my ears, I don't know why. To get all of that, don't forget your neck. So after you're done, you just throw that out. Ugh. And the next step that I always do, at least, is I let this dry for a little bit, so I kind of fan my face. Woo-hoo. And then I put on any acne treatment that I need. Now, I don't have a lot of spots. I just have kind of weird redness and like freckles and stuff. But lately, I've been getting some little guys down there. So what I'm going to do is I use the Clearasil Daily Clear Vanishing Acne Treatment. There it is. And all I'm going to do with this is just boop, 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 put a little dollop on my hand. And this like sets pretty quick, so it's pretty good. Put a dollop on my hand, sort of pat it around so I get a little bit on my finger, and then just pat it across my chin. Now, like I said, I have really sensitive skin, and I find that this stuff doesn't bug it. But this has, I think it's the benzoyl peroxide. Yeah, this is the benzoyl peroxide, sorry. And the salicylic acid I find really irritates my skin. So now what I do is I just put it around my nose, any areas that like I normally have a lot of blackheads or a lot of zits, and then I get a lot around there. So yeah, so that was that step. Alright, so I've kind of let my wipes and the benzoyl peroxide cream set for a little bit. The next step that we're actually going to do is we are going to moisturize our face. Now, I kind of go back and forth when my skin's really oily, like around that time of the month. I actually use a Clearasil moisturizer that has salicylic acid in it, which I know is a no-no for your skin, but it does help. But since my face is pretty good right now, I use the Lush Imperialis moisturizer, and it has lavender, orange flowers, tiger lilies, for balanced skin, for faces that are dry in some areas, oily in others, which is this girl. And this is what it looks like. So you can see some of the like orange flower oils separating. So I just get, you don't need a lot, just that much. Oh, just got some on my tub. So then I just spread it between my fingers, had it on my face, and then rub it in. You don't need a lot, you don't want a lot, because otherwise it's going to cause your makeup to slide off your face. It's one of actually the biggest mistakes that I find people make, is they put on too much moisturizer, especially if they have like eye cream, face moisturizer, and then something for their dry spots. When you put on heavy layers like that, it really doesn't help the staying power of your foundation. So, alright, so what we're actually going to do, normally I would put on my concealer and my foundation and my powder, and then I would do my eyeshadow, but because of the eyeshadow that we're using today, I'm actually just going to apply it first. That way we can get rid of any fallouts, especially because this has glitter. So what we're actually going to be using today is, we're going to be using the Urban Decay, the new Book of Shadows, and the first shade that we're going to take across our lids is actually this one here, Midnight Cowgirl. And it's this really pretty, sort of like gold, yellowy gold with a lot, I don't know if you can see it, but it has like big chunky glitter in it, which is kind of the issue with it, because it just sort of goes everywhere, even though it's a really, really pretty color. So what we're going to do, actually, you should have saved, hopefully you saved your wipe. If you didn't, just grab a piece of paper or a Kleenex, anything works, but you just want to have something to put underneath your eye for when you apply this. Now I am going to take, this is a Sigma E55, the eye shading brush. So just any sort of like flat but fluffy, flat yet fluffy shader brush. There you go. E55. And we're just going to pick up some of the Midnight Cowgirl, tap it off, so you kind of get, see, I just do that. Take your wipe and stick it underneath your eye, close your eye, and oh, I forgot to put on an eye primer. What is wrong with me today? So before you do any of that, skip it. Just take any sort of eye primer. I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original. This is the sample size that came with the shadow box. I also have it in Eden, I believe. But I actually really like this formula. So you don't need a lot, just like the tiniest dollop on your hand. Sorry, it's first thing in the morning, so I am liable to forget some things. So then just dunk your finger in. Spread it all over your lid, right into the inner corner, and then up to your brow. Same for the other eye. Boop. Get some on your finger. And all the way up. Da-da-da-da. And then with whatever's left on your hand, just pick it up on your finger and spread it underneath, because we are going to be putting stuff underneath. And then pick up the rest, do the other eye. And if you have anything left on your hand, just wipe it off. Okay, now you can go in with your brush that has Midnight Cowgirl on it. What we're going to do is we're just going to place the wipe underneath, close your eye, and pat that on. So if you need a little bit more, just dab a little bit more, tap it off, and tap that on. Okay, so once you're done putting on the Midnight Cowgirl, you want to make sure you have it all the way across. We are going to go in with, actually, a MAC shade. And I'm going to do one eye and then the other off camera just so that it's quicker this way, because I tend to ramble. Wrong palette. So we are going to go in with, hold on, let me grab it. So this is a very familiar shade to many of you. This is All That Glitters from MAC. Let me just have it in my palette here. So there it is. And then we are going to take another Sigma brush. Who doesn't love Sigma? And this is the Small Taper Blending Brush, the E45. So if you look, it has a nice point to it. And we are just going to pick up some of the All That Glitters right on the tip. Don't know if you can make that out. No. And you don't have to worry too much about fallout with this. So no need to use your wipey or your piece of paper or whatever you have. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to place it in the crease. Oh, sorry, you can't see. I'll go this way. Just to give us a little bit of definition. So all the way across, even down into the corner. Let's pick it up again, just a little bit, and just slowly start working that color in. There you go. Sorry, my mirrors. Alright. Now you see I've got a little bit of transfer got up there. And then I have a ton of sparkle under there. So we're going to take care of that after I get back from doing right about now, you are thinking, oh my god, I have so many sparkles on my face. It's disgusting. And I don't think they're picking up in the camera, but I can definitely see them in the mirror that I have. So I've got them like all underneath here, all down my face, all over here. So don't worry. First thing we're going to do is, well, I saved my wipey. But what you can do is take a wet piece of paper towel or a wet piece of Kleenex and just don't wipe because you don't want to take off any of your moisturizer or anything like that, but just blot. And it should help pick up at least a good chunk of the sparkles. So you need to just give little short wipe strokes to pick them up. And the funny thing is it even transferred down around my mouth. Craziness. Gets everywhere. So failing that, if that doesn't work, actually one of my favorite brushes for this. This is a really crappy brush. Don't get me wrong, you can buy it at the dollar store. This is the e.l.f. Total Face Brush from their Escentuals line, which is their $1 line. And it's just this really crappy, like flimsy, fluffy brush. But the bristles are really coarse, so it's really good for picking up glitter. So what I always do is I just run this across my face, and it helps sweep away any of the glitter. So make sure you don't get any of the bristles in your eyes because it hurts. Okay, so I think we've pretty much gotten everything in terms of glitter. I'm going to scooch in here so you can see me. So the next thing we're going to do, sounded like I had someone at my door, is we're going to go in with concealer. And I am using the Revlon Colorstay concealer. And it has SPF 15, and I believe this is in Fair. I don't know if you can see that there. So it's just one of the clicky ones. You just click it till the concealer comes out. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab it underneath my eyes. Click it again. More comes out again. Dab it underneath my eyes. And then whatever is left over, I just give it one more click and I dab it on any problem issues, which right now, pretty much my whole face. And right there, and right there, and right there. Now I don't actually use a brush to blend in my concealer. I find that the warmth from my hands just helps blend things in naturally a lot better. You can use a brush if you really want. And then I just kind of do short patting strokes to get all of that in there. I'm sort of the same way with foundation. Like if I'm working on a client, I'll use a brush, just obviously for hygiene reasons, and I don't think, you know, people want me fondling their faces, so. And then I just pat, and like what I have left over, I just pat on my nose because I have a lot of freckles and redness there, so. Just wipe that in. Don't have to worry too much about it, because we are going to go over this one with foundation, so. So again, whatever's excess just get patted on my nose. There's a lot on this side. Let's transfer that over. And you do want to kind of be gentle with this under eye area. I am rough on myself, obviously, because I can be, but for the most part. I'm sorry I sound so manly right now. I've been like sick for the last while, and I'm finally over the cough, but I still have that like manly voice left over. Okay, so that's our concealer on, and already we are looking a lot better. So the next step is foundation, and the foundation I am using is something I have used forever. This is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I am in the shade 110, which is about as light as you can go. So I just pump some on the back of my hand. And then I use my finger and I dot all over my face. So boop, boop, boop. Everybody has a different way of doing this. I just like to dot it because it helps spread it out over my face a little better. And then on my cheeks, just kind of haphazard. And then don't forget, underneath here, whatever's left on my hand, I tend to just, when I'm doing this, wipe it across my neck. It's weird, I know. So what you're going to do after your face looks ridiculous is you are going to just take your fingers, or at least I take my fingers, and just slowly start blending everything in with each other. So get all the dots blended out. I'm sorry if this has a blue cast to it. I'm sitting in front of my window, and that's the only light I have right now because I don't actually have proper lighting in here. So I'm going to try maybe turning on a lamp and see if that helps give a little warmth, because right now I'm looking pretty dead. So again, don't forget to blend out underneath your chin. And personal preference for my hands, I just feel like it helps warm up the product better. But you don't have to. Alright, so let me just double check in the mirror here. Yeah, see we got some near the eyebrow. Blend that out, and we got some in the inner corner here. Still got some sparkle. It's okay though. We'll get it. We'll get it with the next step. So I'm going to turn on the lamp and see if it works. Does not make at all any difference whatsoever. So our next step, actually we're going to powder our face real quick before we do anything else. And so I am going to use, this is one of my favorite brushes of all time. This is the Sigma Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki, the F80. And it's just this super dense flat top. Oh, it's shedding a little bit. Anyway, super dense flat top brush. So there you go. Mine's a little bit dirty, obviously. So then what I'm going to go in with is the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural, and this is in light. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it, put a dent in it. So we're just going to swirl the brush around in there, tap it off, and start with the T-zone, and just powder that. And then I just kind of buff it in circles. This just helps sort of set everything. And I dab it underneath my eyes. Back and forth, back and forth. And sort of blend it in all over. It's going to be like the longest video of life. It's like a foundation routine and a makeup routine in one. And then blend it down my chin. Chin, chin, chin. Alright. So with this step for sure I got a ton of the glitter off. So if you do have this brush, just go back over your face. Because it's so dense, it's really great at buffing away things like glitter. And make sure it's just all blended out all over your face. And of course down your neck. Alright. So that's that step done. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go in and pop some Lush on. So I am going to use, this is the Sephora powder brush, just the nice big fluffy brush. It may not show up as well. I'm going to see maybe if I can take some pictures after. Excuse me. So what we're going to go in with is just a sample pot of, oh, excuse me. Sample pot of the Benefit Coralista blush. That's what it looks like. And I just kind of have it stuck in a palette of mishmashed stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my brush and dab it. I don't know if you can see that. And just dab it sort of circularly into it so I pick some up on the brush itself. And then we're just gonna fishy face a little bit and just buff it on. Now I don't usually contour. You can if you want. I'll show you what I use in just a second. So again, pick it up on your brush, give her a tap. And just buff it on, sort of little circles back and forth, and then I sort of blend it starting from underneath my eye, just blend it down a little bit. Yay, look, I look alive now. Ding. Woo! Alright, I'm gonna go grab my bronzer so I can really like $1,000,000 already, just the difference from when I got out of the shower. Now for bronzer, if you watch any of the Pixie Woo videos, you will know this bronzer very, very well. This is the Bourjois, they call it the chocolate bronzer. It's actually called Délice de Poudre, which essentially is just delicious powder. And I have it in the shade Peau Claire Medium, so that's like fair to medium, 51, and so that's what it looks like. It is matte, but it has like a bunch of shimmers, little shimmeries in it, and it smells like chocolate. So I'm not going to apply it because I just don't feel like I need it with this. But in the summertime, what I'll do is I'll take, this is a Sigma Small Contour, this is the F05, so it looks like that, and I would just pat it in, and then I would go in like a C motion, so like that, sort of, if that makes any sense, and I would dab it down the sides of my nose, down my chin, etc., and then I would buff it out with the F80. So that's what I use, but not today. So that is our face done. Now, if you look, we still have sort of that, all that glitter is not exactly blended out at all yet. I'm just running out of space here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with a blending brush. It's dirty, but this is my mini Sigma Blending E25 brush. So any, you know, fluffy blending brush will do. English is not my first language in the morning. So just sort of windshield wiper motions back and forth in the crease, just to blend it out a little bit. And then before we go any further, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a nice color to put underneath our brows. So I'm gonna take Skimp, which is this like skin toned sort of champagne-y color. Don't know if it's showing up. There we go. So there it is. And we are just going to take a flat shader brush. What is this? This is a Sephora concealer brush, but you know, you don't have to use it for that. I'm just going to pick some of the Skimp up on the brush, tap it off, and then, I don't know if you can see this, but, sorry, I'm new to doing tutorials, so it's kind of hard for me. And we are just going to place it underneath the brow. See? Just like that. And then we're going to go in, same for the other eye. And that way, the All That Glitters has something to blend into. Now, I don't normally fill in my eyebrows, mostly because I can't find anything to fill it in with. I don't like the way powder looks, and to be honest with you, there is nothing light enough in terms of pencils or creams, so I just kind of leave them. That's just how I roll. So yeah, so I have my mirror, and so if you see it a lot, I'm sorry, but like I said, I'm new to this. So then we're just going to blend sort of above the crease, just blend those two in together, and then the other eye. Just that way the All That Glitters has something to blend into. Alright, so that's done. Next up, we're going to do the lips, and then we'll do some liner. I'm going to get started with the lips, and there's two products we're using for the lips. The first is a Jordana Kohl Kajal lip liner in Brick Red. So there it is, and that's what it looks like. And then we're also going to use, this is an e.l.f. Studio Lipstick in Cheerful Cherry, which is this nice dark red color. And the reason we're using a lip liner that's lighter than the actual shade of the lipstick itself is because it is a little bit dark for my skin tone. So using the lip liner underneath it is going to just help me lighten out the lipstick just a touch. So I'm going to position myself. Sorry, I don't actually have zoom on my iPod. So hopefully you can see this. So we're just gonna follow the outline of our lips. I like to dip a little bit down here, just to kind of fake some fullness, to be honest. And then do the same on the top. Again, I kind of like to go outside the lines just a touch. To fake me some nice lips. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill them in. That's actually not a bad color. So once you got that all filled in,
I like to use a lip brush just because it helps push the pigment into my lips a little bit. Help it last a little bit longer. So I'm just going to take, this is a e.l.f. Essentials Professional Lip Defying Brush. This is the only studio brush I actually like. And that's what it looks like. And we are just going to load up our brush. Just like that. So what we're going to start is going around the outside. And there we go, a nice dark lip for fall. I love dark lips, I gotta say. Kind of reminds me of when I was in high school when I was goth. So there you go. And you can see I kind of made an oopsie there and an oopsie there. Now you have two options when you do this. First option is go in with some concealer. Second option is go in with your wet nappy. Nappy? Wipey. Nappies are diapers. And the next step is eyeliner and mascara. So let's get that started. Now make sure you keep your wipey on hand because I always screw this up. Most of the time I'm okay. Sometimes I catastrophically muck it up. And knowing my luck, I'm going to catastrophically muck it up on camera for you guys. So, make sure you keep your wipey on hand. And what I do first is I just line across the top. And then I'll show you what I do after. So, I'm just going to just line across the top close to the lash line. And then I'll show you guys after what I'm going to do. Okay? Now, this is sort of a little trick that I at least learned to teach myself. When I was doing my eyeliner, and I don't know if you can tell, but I did a little bit of a boo-boo right there. See, there's this that bit sticking up a little bit, not on that eye. So what I go in with is, this is a Posh brown eyeliner brush, and this is obvious, it's a double-sided, just cheapy drugstore little brush that's an obvious knockoff of Smashbox. So I take this end of the brush, and you see I got that boo-boo there. So what I'm going to go in with is the Midnight Cowgirl. I'm going to try and pick some up that doesn't have any sparkles on it. Make sure you tap it out really, really good because you do not need a lot of product. And you also do not want sparkles back all over your face, which we worked so hard to get rid of. Where'd my mirror go? There it is. Alright, so what you're going to do... Actually, I think I might just be better doing this. So ta-da! No more boo-boo. Not really, at least. Yeah, I get enough. I got it. So yeah, so that's what I always do. Just take a nice little teeny little like detailing brush. Just get some of your product and just sort of go over the area that you boo-booed, and you're good to go. So the next step with the liner is the part that I always fudge up. So what I do, I try and get as much product off of this as possible. So, it's kind of hard to do on the camera. I start in the corner of my eye and I work out towards the end of my eyebrow. Does this make sense? And I just draw a line. See? Alright. Make sure it connects to your bottom lash, your bottom line, lash line. So then I go in, grab more product, and from that line, connect it in with the rest of my eyeliner. I really hope everybody saw that. So there you go. So there's one done, and then I'm going to do the other eye, and then we'll do mascara. Now the biggest problem for me is getting it even on both sides. You can probably tell it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Your eyes aren't both the same sort of size or shape. They're not even, so you're going to have a hard time getting them even. With practice, you'll get pretty good, but perfect's pretty hard. Especially when you're doing it on yourself. I find it a lot easier to actually do this on somebody else, which is strange. I think because I can stare straight at their faces and see their proportions. Alright, so now we're going to go in and do mascara really quick because my battery is dying. And I'm actually going to use two mascaras. Sorry, I have to like reach. I don't know if you can see this, but I have a big old graduated cylinder just full of the makeup that I use for tutorials. So I just have to grab in and reach them. So the first one that I use is the Buxom Bare Escentuals Black Lash. And I just put this all over my lashes. I think it just helps really coat them quite nicely. So that's what the brush looks like. So. And then what I started actually doing lately is going back in with a second mascara, and the mascara I've actually been using is the Maybelline Great Lash Lots of Lashes, which is this one. It's got this teeny little like weird wand, but I actually really like it. So it's like, they call it the Great Little Grabber or something like that. And actually what I like to do first is just sort of clean it off in my wipe. Just like that, just like run it through. Just to pick up off a lot of the product, and then, oops, sorry, I just go in with it. So don't mind my hair, guys, I just put it down. That actually completes the look. Once you're done your mascara, you can always put in false lashes. I never do. I'm just way too lazy. I can't be bothered. So that's it for the look. If you do have any questions, just let me know. I'm actually refilming this finale because I noticed when I went back, for some reason, all of like, from about 5-10 minutes onwards, everything's out of sync, and I really didn't want the conclusion to be out of sync. So
So I hope you guys like this look. Like I said, if you do have any questions, just let me know. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.